Ciao, I'm Mario, a Swiss car guy on YouTube, and as is pretty obvious, I'm riding a bicycle, so I'm very sorry. This is going to be a bicycle video, but there will be food at the end of the video, so if you don't like bicycles, stick around. But I think it's relevant to car guys as well, to some point. Because you see, it's nice weather, so I thought I'd take out my e-bike, the fake Lexus, and go for a ride in it. But then I realized that, well, the brakes, they seem to make a bit of a strange noise. On a car, I would say it's pretty obvious. It's worn brake pads, most likely metal on metal. But it cannot be, because this e-bike only has 1,900 kilometers. And I mean, brake pads on bicycles cannot wear that fast. When I posted about this on Instagram, somebody suggested that maybe I am just a Hardbraker.
Why do you have to be a Hardbraker? Is it a lesson that I never knew?
But then I did a quick Google search, which revealed that brake pads on bikes are supposed to last between 1,000 and 2,000 kilometers. So it turns out I'm actually a regular braker.
Why do you have to be a regular braker?
But yes, since I left the brake pads on too long, the front ones are worn completely down to the metal and they have started scoring the rotor. So I'm not going to faff about, I'm replacing pads and rotors front and rear, because bike parts are cheap and the work is easy enough that even I should be able to do it. So let's have a look. So I put the bicycle on my lift stand. Yes, I have a lift stand for a bicycle, so yeah, that's that. But because I'm going to take the wheels off, and I'm only going to take the wheels off because I'm going to change the discs, otherwise I wouldn't take the wheels off. So let's start with that. I'm using a screwdriver to push back the brake pistons, as long as the old pads are still in there. Okay, that should be enough. I can take the brake pads out. They are held in magnetically. Brake pad number 1, metal on metal, eh? Brake pad number 2, not any better. Now I first need to put the bike in the lowest gear possible, or highest gear, I don't remember what it's called, just so I can take the chain off easy. The wheel is off. First let's spread the pistons. This should be alright. All for brake pads. Okay, so the wheels are off. Let's go upstairs. Okay, so I'm now on my balcony because my cellar is way too narrow and dark, and I'm gonna take off the brakes while I'm here with the wheels on my balcony on the table. I think the bolts are Torx 25. Wow, they're tight. Nothing a little bit of torque can't solve. One off. 2. Both discs are off. Good. Let's get the new ones. Here they are, new discs, OEM, Magura. 180 for the rear, which is here, and 203 millimeters for the front. Good. Okay. Let's do the front first. Here we have the new disc. I didn't buy exactly the same one. Wait. This is the rear one. This is the front one. I didn't buy exactly the same. I bought these one because they are supposed to be a newer model and a bit more sturdy, I believe. Anyway, same brand, same everything. They fit. And they come with new bolts with thread locker applied. I don't want to torque them with the impact because it will be too much. These require only very little torque, so I'm doing it very carefully. You see, the instructions tell us how to torque it, in which order, and how much torque, 4 Newton meters, which is not a lot. Let's see if I have a torque wrench. My torque wrench only goes down to 5 Newton meters, maybe. Let's do just a bit less than 5. That should be fine. So we start with 1. This is torque down, this is on, this is good. Let's go on to the next one. Good. Okay. This is on. Now, since I did touch the discs while installing them, I will just clean them with a little bit of brake cleaner. Brake rotors are swapped. Here's the new brake pad, and these are the rears, and these are the fronts. And the fronts are, there's no material left, hence why they scratched the discs. And the rears are actually worn unevenly. They actually still have quite a bit of meat on it, but since the discs looked scratched anyway, I thought I would change them. So now I will go back into my dark cellar, I will put on the wheels, I will put on the brake pads, of course, and then I have to bed the brake pads. Apparently the manufacturer Magura recommends that you should do 30 brakings from 30 kilometers an hour. So I need to go outside and brake a couple of times, I guess. So please excuse this bike video, but I was quite amazed that brake pads on bicycles last only about 1,000 to maximum 2,000 kilometers, which I think is insane, because on cars, which are much more heavier, they last like 20, 30,000 kilometers. So for me, that means that if I keep riding the bicycle the way I did now, I will swap out the brake pads every season, which is not a big deal, because I reckon one package of brake pads is 20 bucks, so front and rear is 40 bucks once a year. Not a big spend. And also, if you only change the brake pads and not the rotors, you can actually change the brake pads without taking off the wheel. So that makes it much quicker and easier. Looking at my rear brake pads, I find that they are actually not worn down. They still have quite a bit of meat on it, and I probably could have left them on. I probably even could have left the rotor on, because even though it is scored, I think it's not that bad. And actually even the front rotor, which is scored quite badly, it still has like 1.934 millimeter thickness, and the minimum thickness for these rotors are 1.8 millimeters. So I could have gone a pretty long time on these rotors, I guess, since even the new ones, they are just 1 millimeters 95, I reckon. So they would have had a long life ahead of them, but as badly scored as they were, I reckon that the new brake pads would be destroyed almost instantaneously. Therefore, I swapped the rotors front, and since I'm there, I also swapped the rotors in the back, because all in all, new rotors, new brake pads from the OEM manufacturer of my bike's brake, Magura, cost me just, I think, 100 francs, maybe 98 francs or something like that. And you might say, well, 100 bucks on a bike, that's quite a lot of money to spend, but I did spend like 3,500 francs on this bicycle. So spending 100 bucks every now and then isn't the worst. Anyway, I will put everything back on, I will do my bedding, and maybe I'll show you this, maybe I won't show you this, because I reckon this video is already boring enough as it is. But I will now, or after I've shown you what I thought I might show you or not show you, this is complicated, I will show you food. And I don't know yet what it is, but it will be food. So stick around if you want to see the food. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos that hopefully aren't about bicycles. And anyway, follow me on Instagram. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day. Bye. This is touching a bit. I'm going to correct it later on. But first, let's do the rear wheel. Okay, the rear brake is good. The front brakes are dragging, so I will adjust the caliper. I'll just loosen the caliper a bit. And now I tighten it while I hold the brake. And now it doesn't drag. Good. The brakes are done. Job done. Let's get it down again. If I ever manage that. 30 and brake. Okay. 1. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twelve, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.